Well, now take down your fishing pole and meet me at the fishing hole. I can't think of a better way to pass the time of day.
RodMob, your Northern California fishing podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. I'm Scott.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're coming at you from the always shady RodMob treehouse here in Everyone Seems to Have a Horse, Portola Valley. It's Thursday, April 25th, 2013, and you are tuned in to the RodMob. This is episode 52 of your weekly Northern California fishing podcast.
And we don't have a horse. We just have lots of horses walking by the treehouse.
Yes.
Today, we've got the scoop on conditions for the general trout opener on Saturday.
We'll hit on this week's best bites. Bass are active in many NorCal lakes, and there's plenty of other good action this week.
And of course, don't forget about our hotline giveaway going on through the month of April. Call in your fishing reports to 855-RodMob1 to win yourself a free RodMob t-shirt and weather-resistant decals.
All right, let's jump right in with the news.
Here's Sarah with the latest headlines.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but we enjoy fishing reality TV around here. And the National Geographic Channel is jumping on board with a new show starting Saturday, April 27th called Kingfisher's Battle for America. And a Central Coast angler will be featured on the show. Nat Geo describes kingfishers as the ultimate fishing challenge. 3 anglers battle it out during 3 extraordinary expeditions. Each is highly competitive and determined to beat their new fishing buddies. But it isn't just about who catches the most and who catches the biggest. It's also about who hosts the ultimate fishing trip, with marks awarded for both number of fish caught and the overall fishing experience itself. The fishermen have to learn their opponent's fishing techniques and compete in each other's home waters before one of them is crowned Kingfisher. The competition begins in the Florida Keys, where Matt, a tough-talking fishing guide, hosts his competitors as they target the mighty sailfish. Then off to Tahoe National Forest in Northern California, where up-and-coming fisherman Travis hosts his opponents in a bass fishing competition. Finally, Daniel, an obsessed sport fishing guide, hosts the final stage of the competition in Homer, Alaska, where the expert anglers will fish for Pacific halibut in a final bid to secure the winner's crown. Central Coast angler Travis Moran is known for BassHookups.com and says the show was a fishing trip of a lifetime. We look forward to watching Travis on the show and seeing where they go for some California bass fishing. You can catch the Kingfisher's debut Saturday, April 27th at 10 p.m. on Nat Geo. And of course, this Saturday, the 27th, is the general trout opener, and the word is it's going to be good. In the Eastern Sierra, Tom at Sierra Drifters Guide Service says the curse of bad weather for a trout season opener has been lifted. Look for one of the best ever with regards to conditions. Tom's update today is that this may go down as perhaps the most mild and comfortable opener in recent memory, with the forecast calling for 70s in the upper valleys and 80s in the Owens Valley on Saturday. Tom says the Middle Owens River is fishing very well, and the summer season should be good, early through middle summer, with low to very low water levels later on. There's little snow, and anglers will have access to waters that are usually unreachable this time of year. The entire length of the Sonora Pass is expected to be open. Highway 88 and 89 are open, and Highway 4 may open this week. Lakes are well stocked, and Peter Oatson of the Record Net reports that the east and west forks of the Carson River each got 1,000 pounds of trout on Monday, and 1,800 pounds of Alpine County rainbows ranging from 2 to 3 pounds each will also be released. There should be plenty of anglers at Bridgeport Reservoir, given the weather and access. Rick Geiser at Ken's Sporting Goods in Bridgeport told the Record Net that the reservoir is low, so boat launching will be limited to the areas known as the bathtub and the marina. He recommends launching the night before and tying to the shoreline to avoid long lines on Saturday morning. Rick suggests trying upper and lower Twin Lakes for limits of rainbows and bigger browns.
Trout.
And this weekend will be your first opportunity this season to sample the McCloud River, Hat Creek, and Fall River. Craig Nielsen at Shasta Trout says the McCloud River below McCloud Reservoir looks to be in superb shape, with flows on the lower river at summer release levels, well below the norm with good clarity. The opening of the season is most often a nymphing affair, but look for opportunities for dry fly action midday and towards evening. The Hat River should fish well during the first weeks of the season. Craig says the attraction here is the big bugs of spring, salmon flies, golden stones, green drakes, and mahoganies, but your most likely topwater action will come on PMDs and spring caddis. And on the Fall River, the flow is steady and the river is clear with perfect conditions. The bugs have been sparse, so dry fly fishing will likely be spotty, but nymphing and pulling streamers will always find fish. The year-round rivers, like the Lower Sac and the Pit, are all fishing exceptionally well. For more info or to book a trip, head over to shastatrout.com. And for more info and tips for fishing the Eastern Sierra, check out today's report from Sierra Drifters Guide Service at sierradrifters.com or Ken's Sporting Goods in Bridgeport at kensport.com.
Guess where I'm going for the opener?
Where are you going?
My mom's birthday party.
Wah, wah, wah. I guess that's pretty much the only acceptable excuse. I'm not fishing the trout opener because it's my mom's birthday.
Yeah.
Well, you're a good son.
I would skip a birth, but I guess I can't skip my mom's birthday.
That's it for the headlines. Now for some tight lines. Here are the latest reports on the best Northern California fishing.
Well, first of all, we check in with Kenny Priest from Fishing the North Coast. Well, welcome back to the show, Kenny. We're down here in the Bay Area, and we are curious what's going on up in your neck of the woods. What's the latest?
Well, the latest is we've had a lot of wind the last probably week or so. So it's made fishing off the jetties and perch fishing off the ocean, off the beaches and stuff pretty tough. So there hasn't been a whole lot going on. But this weekend we do have some nice minus tides, and the weather is supposed to be nice on Friday and part of Saturday. So I would imagine a lot of people are going to be clamming down at Clam Beach over the weekend.
And then you guys got salmon and halibut are coming, going to open up for you guys soon, right?
Yeah, so everybody's excited about that. So we have salmon and halibut opening next Wednesday, which will be May 1st. So people here are just really gearing up for that. And I think from what I'm hearing from some of these long-range reports is that the opener is going to be fishable, maybe for a couple days, and then I think the wind's going to blow again. That's what I heard. I'm not sure if that's how true that is, but people are definitely excited about that.
Yeah, that's great, and we're going to look forward to getting reports from you on that. And then also, how was the derby you guys had for the firefighters?
The perch derby was great. It was I think it was the 4th annual, and there was more people this year than there has been in the past. So it's definitely growing. It's getting bigger and bigger. The weather, it's really tough to put something like that on and have to deal with the weather. And the weather was pretty bad that day. It was really windy, but some guys went out there and at first light, not fishing the best tides or the optimal tides for perch, and caught a bunch. So it was really great. The kids enjoyed it, had a great time. They have a great barbecue and a fresh fish dinner. So it was really good. It turned out really well.
That's great. It sounds like a great event. Yeah, just wind, man. Wind and fishing is just a bad combination.
It is, and I think that's just kind of par for the course here in May. And it stinks that it's happening, but it's all good because it's just getting that upwelling going in the ocean, and it just kind of gets that conveyor belt of food going. So as much as we hate it, right now it's okay. When salmon season opens and halibut opens and rockfish opens, then we want it to stop. Right now it's okay, but there's a lot of fish out there. There's no doubt. This was definitely the place to be last year. I mean, you could go out there. It didn't matter what you used. It didn't. You could go out there and drop a spoon in your prop wash and catch a fish. I mean, it was just silly. I mean, literally, the charter boats, 6-pack charter boats, were done, at 7:20, and they'll start fishing at 7. You could be back home by 8. I mean, there was days where I went out, some of the charter boats and some private guys, just before work, and I was back to work on time with 2 fish.
Everyone's counting down to Wednesday, May 1st. We're looking forward to hearing from all you North Coast RodMobbers out there. Let us know how opening day action went.
And the Red Lion Hotel in Eureka is offering a fisherman's room rate special for the salmon and halibut opener. Use FISH as the code when making a reservation. Red Lion Hotel is located 10 minutes away from Woodley Island Marina and Humboldt Bay. And you can call the Real Steel, Full Throttle Sport Fishing, and the Shellback for salmon reservations out of Woodley. And tell them the RodMob sent you. For more info on fishing the North Coast, be sure to check out Kenny Priest's Fishing the North Coast Facebook page and his column, Fishing the North Coast, in the Eureka Times Standard at www.timesstandard.com/fishing the North Coast.
Out of Bodega Bay, North Coast boats are finding salmon limits off Tomales Bay and Bird Rock and reports they're full of krill.
Salmon hunters out of San Francisco Bay are finding a good bite below the deep reef off the San Mateo coastline and also out the gate off the S buoy.
Half Moon Bay has been this week's salmon hotspot. Charters out of Pillar Point are finding salmon limits at the 50-fathom curve, and many private boaters have been reporting quick limits. Fish are averaging in the 8 to 10-pound range.
In Monterey Bay, the best action seems to be around the SoCal Hole. Wednesday was a good day. A lot of boats had quick and easy limits and calm seas.
Inside the San Francisco Bay, halibut and striper potluck trips have begun. Boats are finding increased numbers of flatties drifting the Berkeley Flats, Red Rock, and Paradise. There's been good sturgeon and striper action in Sonoma Creek and lots of shark action in the San Pablo Bay.
Lots of keeper sturgeon are still being caught in the Delta. Good reports continue from the Mothball Fleet, Pittsburgh, and Montezuma Slough. Some charter captains are leaving Sassoon Bay for the San Francisco Bay to fish live bait. Limits of striped bass are common throughout the Delta.
I hit the West Delta last Tuesday and again on Sunday. I really wanted to do some fly fishing, but I'm going to need a trolling engine. Ended up trolling the Sac across from 3 Mile Slough at the power lines up towards Rio Vista for a few fish up to 8 pounds. Started playing with my new Yellowbird planer boards that I got. I was a little too busy being the captain to fully get them working, but I'm liking them so far, and I got some ideas to incorporate a slider system to rig them to my line.
RodMobber Tommy called in this Delta report to the RodMob hotline and was interrupted by another hookup.
Hey, Mobsters, how you doing? It's Tommy live on the Delta. The word of the day is angry eyes. Threw those things out there, 3 fish in 15 minutes, make it 4. Gotta see ya.
RodMobber Richard Correa posted a catch on our Facebook page of a nice striper he landed in Steamboat Slough. And mobber Jonathan Politis hit one of his honey holes in Montezuma Slough and scored a 53-inch dino soaking ghost shrimp and pileworms. The black bass and largemouth bass bite is picking up with the warmer water. And here's the latest hotline report from shallow trolling legend Clyde Wands.
I was trying some new lures out that Alan Fong from Fisherman's Warehouse in Sacramento wanted me to try, just to test them to see how they ran and everything. So Monday we fished north of the Rio Vista Bridge and put one of the new ones on, and one of my lures that I've been using, the Angry Eye. Anyway, the new lure, I nailed the first 4 fish, and we were into some pretty nice fish. And then it equaled out during the day. I think it was more to do with the color. The water was very clear, so we were both using pearl. When I switched to pearl, the same as one of the new ones I was using, started catching fish. And we caught very nice fish, average about 9 pounds. So I will try to, I'm fishing the lures again this weekend. I'll try a couple on a derby. I'm fishing a 2-day derby, our club, the Untitled Chapter of striped bass. Anyway, I'll give them a try then, and I will give you a report Monday and let you know how they do.
Leave your fishing report on the RodMob hotline. 855-RodMob1.
Now let's look at the lakes. The hot bass bite at Lake Shasta continues to bite some windy days. I saw a report on myoutdoorbuddy.com that guys are catching over 100 fish a day at Shasta. The trout bite is slow but steady, and anglers are hoping that the lake warms up and turns the bite on. The McCloud Arm and Gooseneck have been some top spots for trout, including some browns. King salmon are found off Dry Creek trolling wiggle hoochies.
Lots of wind and lots of fish at Lake Almanor. Fishing for brown trout has been very productive. Bass fishing is good too as they're moving into spawn.
When anglers aren't getting blown off the water, the bass bite at Clear Lake is on fire. At a recent American Bass Lucas Oil Clear Lake Team Open, it took more than 25-pound days just to crack the top 5.
The bite is still happening at Lake Berryessa, reports RodMobbers John and Jonathan Politis. They got into a nice variety of fish this week, including king salmon, rainbows, and browns on jumbo minnows. They also caught and released 8 bass. The kokanee bite has been pretty good at Berryessa, with fish in the 14 to 15-inch range.
Bass reports from Lake Oroville are fantastic. Anglers are hooking 50 to 60 fish a day. Drop shotting, darthead worms, and Senkos are all working.
Good bass fishing continues at Lake Folsom. Hookups were good with live minnows in about 15 feet of water. Drop-shotting robo-worms and Senkos scored some of the bigger bass.
Trout fishing is excellent at Collins Lake. Recent plants are producing steady limits for both shore anglers and boaters. Bass are hitting on the east side of the lake near the bridge.
In the East Bay, San Pablo Reservoir continues to plant catchable Lassen trout, and the steady bite continues. Good spots are Sandy Beach, Bobber Beach, Graveyard Cove, and Scow Canyon. And you may just hook into some crappie, too. A Concord angler caught a 2-pound crappie using a jig while fishing the boat launch area earlier this week.
Lafayette Reservoir continues to plant trout and is getting another 2,000 pounds this Sunday. The East Cove and South Shore are producing.
And last weekend's new marina grand opening at Los Vaqueros brought in a crowd of over 500 anglers who took advantage of a massive 8,000-pound trout plant and scored many limits. Striper fishing is good at Los Vaqueros, too.
The staff at Lake Del Valle reports that both the trout and catfish bite has improved.
Striper fishing is still good at San Luis Reservoir. Try drifting minnows, soaking anchovies off the trash racks, and Portuguese Cove. Trollers are getting their fish dragging rebels and predators.
And in the mother lode, at New Melones, it's all about the kokanee right now. Anglers are getting limits off the spillway and dam. Crappie fishing's been good too.
Lake Amador got a recent plant of 3,000-plus pounds of cut bows, and the trout are active. There's been good bass and crappie action at Amador.
If you're headed to Lake Pardee for trout, you'll have better success trolling. Working upriver of Columbia Gulch with dodgers and worms has been reported as your best bet. Swim baits have been also producing some nice largemouth. Bass numbers have been strong too.
Trout, kokanee, and bass are on the bite at Lake Don Pedro. Drop shotting for bass has been very productive.
At Lake McClure, trout, kokanee, and king salmon and rainbow trout are being caught near the dam off the mouth of the Cottonwood Arm in Temperance Bay. The crappie and catfish bite is picking up at McClure.
And shore fishing is good for trout at McSwain Reservoir with power bait and crawlers. Some good spots are the Handicap Dock and Brush Pile. Gilligan's Island area is also a good spot for trolling.
In the Sierras, Lake Tahoe trollers continue to report good action. Limits are common and anglers are reporting a good mix of macks, browns, and bows.
Kokanee are starting to bite at Lake Stampede, and trollers are scoring some nice-sized Mackinaw.
Trollers at Pyramid Lake are seeing double-digit days. Shore fishing has been a little slower. I talked with Valerie Taylor at the Crosby Lodge, and she reported that a few 10-plus pounders came in, including Peter Thompson's 12-pound, 15-ounce cutthroat he caught on a black fly at the nets.
And most eastern Sierra lakes are stocked up, ice-free, and ready for the opener. Warm weather and sunny skies are forecasted for the weekend, and we just read that Crowley Lake
Mr. Crowley
is known to attract 10,000 anglers for the opener.
Keep us posted. Share your catch, tips, gear reviews, and more on our Facebook page. Facebook.com/RodMob.
On the rivers, AC Fly Fishing reports that the rivers in the Redding area are fishing great right now. With a mild snowpack, we should expect the fishing to stay solid through the spring and early summer.
Specifically, the lower Sac has continued to fish very well this past week. The bite has been consistent mid-morning through early afternoon. AC Fly Fishing reports the warm weather combined with a little cloud cover has got the mayflies coming off pretty good. There are plenty of spots on the river right now where you expect the double hookup when the PMDs are coming off. The flows are steadily climbing up near 7K cubes now. As long as they don't jump off the charts in a short amount of time, the fishing should remain excellent.
Striper fishing on the Sacramento River remains good around Grimes, Colusa, and Tisdale. Minnows are getting limits. Be prepared for a lot of company out there, and folks have been reporting that the flows have been low, so be careful. RodMobber Ken Smith was into a nice bite out of Tisdale last Friday and caught and released a 25-pound female. And Jeff Goodwin posted this report to our Facebook page. Sacramento striper action has been great. I fished this crew 2 days this week, and they kicked butt. You can see photos of these fish at facebook.com/RodMob.
Some shad are showing up on the American River. RodMobber Scott Vaughn says he'll keep us posted once they start showing up in numbers.
Flows are up a little bit on the Truckee River. Reports are that the river is in good shape. Try Baetis, droppers, and stoneflies with indicators. Guide Matt Heron says things are shaping up pretty good on the Truckee this year. Scattered fish on the Little Truckee River are hitting San Juan worms and Baetis nymphs.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, there's lots of excitement brewing in the eastern Sierras. The Sonora Pass is open and the weather is looking good for the general trout season opener on Saturday.
All the latest in Northern California fishing. This is the Rod Mob. Woo!
All right.
Catch of the week.
This week, our podcast artwork comes courtesy of Ken Smith. Ken posted a picture on our Facebook page of a 25-pound female striper he caught and released fishing the Sacramento River out of Tisdale on Friday. Thanks for posting, Ken, and congratulations for having this week's Catch of the Week.
And now for our poll question.
Last week, we asked you about your plans for the salmon season. We wondered if folks along the Central Coast up to Humboldt County had made it out yet, or if you were planning to. Here are the results. 14% of you said yes, you have already been out, and 86% of you said not yet, but you're planning on it. We got a bunch of comments from you guys. Definitely a lot of RodMobbers looking forward to the May 1st opener for Eureka, Trinidad, and Crescent City areas. Quite a few of you have been fishing out of Emeryville, Monterey, Shelter Cove, and even more folks are counting down to the July 16th opener for Central Valley rivers.
And now for this week's poll question. The new season of Deadliest Catch kicked off 2 weeks ago with a bang. Lots of drama, lots of action. Plus, I think the show's never looked better. They've upgraded their cameras and lighting. They're also doing cool stuff with GoPro cameras, and they've added more underwater shots. There's still a great balance of guys to root for and root against. I'm not a fan of Keith. I think the guy's a complete tool. And speaking of tools, then there's Wicked Tuna. These guys are a different breed. They're not the sharpest hooks in the tackle box, and these guys seem to be more focused on bragging rights than being pros. And for guys that have been professionally fishing for as long as they have, it's amazing how many blunders these guys make trying to bring in a fish. At first, Wicked Tuna didn't grab me. I thought the guys were a bunch of clowns. That hasn't really changed, but I have become a loyal viewer. Just watching those rods peel off line gets me every time. The show doesn't really offer anyone to really root for other than Captain Marciano, who seems to be the only one of the captains with a soul. And for the most part, every Wicked Tuna is somewhat the same, unlike Deadliest Catch, which seems to find a new twist every time. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd love to land a $10,000 fish someday, and that would be very cool, but I sure as hell wouldn't send it to Japan. I'd throw like a 3-day sashimi party at my house.
That's what these guys do, the Wicked Tuna guys? They send it to Japan?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they each fish they get's worth thousands of dollars. And
holy moly.
Yeah. But they don't make anywhere near what the Deadliest Catch guys are making millions, and these guys are making, $60,000 or something.
It's liquid gold.
Amen. So this week we want to know, are you guys watching these shows? Are there any other fishing shows you recommend? Let us know. Head on over to rodmob.com to cast your vote.
Upcoming events you won't want to miss. Here's the RodMob calendar.
This Friday, April 26th, is the Golden Gate Salmon Association's annual Sacramento dinner at the Scottish Rite Temple. Visit www.goldengatesalmonassociation.com for more info.
Saturday, April 27th is the Monterey Bay Veterans Wheelchair Salmon Derby. Skippers and volunteers are needed. Call 831-901-0217.
Also this Saturday, California Fly Shop in San Carlos is hosting a shad fishing tailgate talk with Tony Yap. Starts at 10:30 a.m. Tony will present everything you need to know about shad fishing. The event is free and breakfast is provided. Then at noon, the California Fly Shop will hold a surf tailgate talk with pro staffer Bill Scharminghausen, covering surf fishing for perch and stripers off the coast of California.
That's where I'll be prior to my mom's birthday.
Which, you're going to the shad one or the...
I'll go to both.
Both? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, they are providing breakfast. And I do love shad.
Awesome. Well, if you run into any RodMobbers, you'll have to have a t-shirt or two on hand just in case.
I'll have a pocket full of stickers.
All right.
April 29th, Fishing in the City will be at the Sandy Wool Lake in Milpitas. The event features free fishing and instruction for kids and a stocked lake. Call 408-355-2254 for more info.
May 1st is the Northern Coast Salmon Opener, and rockfish season opens south of Pigeon Point.
May 4th and 5th is the Yamamoto Big Bass Challenge in the Delta at Russo's Marina.
Also on May 4th and 5th is the Hat Creek Hereford Ranch RV Park and Campground 2013 Trout Derby. Visit www.hatcreekrv.com for info.
May 11th is the Siffy Lake Party Mike Kerrigan Memorial Derby, which includes free kids raffle, derby shirt, and barbecue lunch. Payouts to 20 places. Check out www.ciffi.org.
And May 15th, the California Inland Fisheries Foundation meeting will be held at 7 p.m. at Gone Fishin' Marine in Dixon. The guest speaker will be Rick Kennedy of Tightlines Guide Service. Rick will be presenting a seminar on Berryessa time, rainbows, kokanee, and landlocked kings. For more info, call 209-810-9603. For details on these and other upcoming events, check out our events page at rodmob.com. And if you have an event you'd like us to mention, just drop us a line at fishon@rodmob.com.
Well, that's it for this week. Remember, there's just a few days left during the month of April to enter the RodMob Hotline giveaway.
If you leave a fishing report on the RodMob Hotline during the month of April, you're automatically entered for a chance to win a free RodMob t-shirt and some super cool weather-resistant decals.
The number is 855-RodMob1, and you can leave us a message any time of day or night. That's 855-RodMob1.
We really want to hear from all of you in the RodMob community, so please keep us posted on your fishing trips. And be sure to keep up with us on Facebook and Twitter for daily updates from fellow anglers.
Thanks for listening. Have a great week. Please practice catch and release as much as possible. And until next time, keep us posted.
RodMob.
That's what he said. It's Berryessa time. It's Berryessa time.